Well, here we are once again at the very, very lovely corner of Glenwood and Lunt in the heart of Rogers Park. We're up here on the stage at the Heartland Cafe. Been around here since 1976, doing this show for many years. And this is Michael James, your host for this morning's edition of Live from the Heartland Radio. It's not as sunny as it's been, but it is still nice out. And those of you who are laying up in your beds or drinking your coffee at home, pay close attention. We're going to talk about some organic gardening on the statewide level. We're going to talk about a community budgeting process with Alderman Joe Moore. We've got some people active in that budgeting process going to talk about the gardening aspect. And we're going to have some people, I think, showing up from a group that is working to combat genocide and remember the Holocaust. We're going to start out with a friend of mine who was sitting here and came to hear the alderman talk, but she had some information that I thought we ought to get out. So good morning to you, Debbie Hillman.
Good morning, Michael.
Debbie, I see you sometimes at the Heartland Cafe, sometimes I see you at farmers markets, see you in places where they sell organic food. You've been involved for a good amount of time in the organic gardening movement and local gardening, and you were even asked by the governor to participate in his Illinois local and organic food and farm process. Tell us the official name of that group, what happened, what it's called now, and what's going on the local and the statewide level, bringing good food, good wholesome food for the mind and body to the people.
Well, since 2007, when State Representative Julie Hamas wrote the first Illinois Food Farms and Jobs Act, we've had a 2-year temporary task force to write a strategic plan about relocalizing the entire Illinois food and farm economy. So our report came out a year ago, and Julie wrote another bill, the second Illinois Food Farms and Jobs Act, and it created a new permanent state body. The name of that group is the Illinois Local Food Farms and Jobs Council. And the job of that council is to help farmers, farm laborers, business people to create all sorts of businesses around local food, because right now, although Illinois is an agricultural state, we import 95% of our food from other places. And how stupid is that? I'm sorry.
And the food that we grow, we send other places.
Well, we don't grow food, we grow corn and soybeans.
Right.
And that turns into animal feed or highly processed products. And so the food, by and large, that you're selling at the Heartland Cafe is not coming from Illinois farmers. I know you try to do that, but the point is now the government, the state of Illinois government, is on board with creating a truly local farm and food economy.
What's your sense of the governor's commitment to this? I know he's certainly inundated with challenges and problems, as are government bodies throughout the land, probably throughout the world, but he certainly has good intentions. How active will this committee be, this commission be, and what's the sense of funding for it? Can it really make a mark?
Yes, I mean, the governor is very supportive. He signed the bill publicly last August at the state fair and spoke very eloquently about the need to create a local farm and food economy. But it did get left out of his jobs plan in December, so we need to bring it more to his attention. The funding is not going to come from the state. It is going to have to come from the federal government. And the interesting thing is that the new council has 35 people on it. 6 of them are from state agencies, and one of them is the director of the Office of Security and Emergency Preparedness. In other words, Homeland Security is concerned about whether we have a local farm and food economy. And that, I think, is where some of the money is going to come from to fund this.
Was that true of the Homeland Security before Obama came in, or is this a new positive step forward for Homeland Security?
Yeah, well, you know the answer to that question, but it's
probably that's why I asked.
It's a total flip back to common sense. What is true security? It's not guns and missiles. It's being able to grow our food and being able to know where our food comes from.
Debbie Hillman, food activist, give us a little bit of information about what you see going on in the city and the suburbs around the state in terms of an interest in the growing of food and the disbursement and distribution of food and the quality of the food that we eat?
Well, I think, as you know, being in the heart of an urban area like Chicago, there are urban agriculture projects popping up everywhere. Urban farms, market gardens, community gardens, school gardens, and that it's not only in Chicago, it's in the suburbs, it's in the rest of Illinois, it's actually in the rest of the country. People are reclaiming their right to have the food that they want, and whether it's just for the taste, whether it's for the nutrition, the people working on obesity have identified the access to fresh food as one of the key solutions. So it really is, it's a marriage between every sector is coming to realize that if we have our local food system, we solve health problems, we solve environmental problems, we solve economic problems, and that's why I think people are coming to this. So.
Well, eating good, wholesome food for the mind and body has always been our mantra, and you know, it's real important. I'm glad that the attention and the focus of a lot of people who care about health is starting to shift to the basic things. You know, you kind of take care of yourself from the inside out, so what you eat makes a difference. Before the show, you were telling me a little bit about a great new play that's opened out in Albany Park. I think it's the Albany Park Players at the Laura Wiley Theater. Tell us a little about this thing called Feast.
Yeah, the Albany Park Theater Project works solely with youth. They do long-term research on whatever play they're putting on, and this year it is about Feast. It's about food. Albany Park is a very diverse neighborhood, as everybody knows, and these youth have interviewed their families, they've interviewed shopkeepers, they visited farms, they interviewed people about breastfeeding, all kinds of nutrition, and then they created a play which I went to last night, the opening night, and it was highly more than entertaining. It was meaningful, it was moving, and they usually sell out. So I certainly encourage people to go check out the Albany Park Theater Project, and if you like food, they'll be selling some at some local food in future productions, and it was great.
Well, I want to let you all know how to, if you're interested and you want to get tickets, it's 800-838-3006. It's the Laura Wiley Theater in residence at the Eugene Field Park, 5100 North Ridgeway in Chicago. And that's very interesting to me that we have a park called Eugene Field, because right down the street from the Heartland Cafe, we have Eugene Field School. So now I'm going to ask, does anyone know who Eugene Field is, or was?
He was a labor leader, right? Or
I
not?
don't know.
I think he was.
Maybe the alderman will get that. All right, we're working on it. Debbie Hillman, it's really great to have you up here. You keep everybody on their toes about wholesome food, what's going on. I want to thank you for coming on up and sharing a little bit of information. Is there a website you would recommend for the new commissions by the governor, or any other site?
If people want to read the report that was written for the state, it's at foodfarmsjobs.org. That's probably the best way to get connected. So thanks
so
Mike.
much for coming on. A little round of applause for Debbie Hillman.
Thanks, Michael.
All right.